In this section, we're going to be going over some gameplay on where players are down 2 possessions or more in a game. Now, typically in these situations, people get down 10, especially in the fourth quarter, and again, kind of back to like how it was at the end of half situations where people are just trying to force it, get it back, try to get it all in one play, and what the best players are going to do is they're going to keep hitting their underneath, they're going to stay patient, they're not just going to kind of speed up, because again, you got to think from we say this a lot. I've been saying this a lot in this course. You got to think from the perspective of the defensive player, and understand the kind of the psychology of the defensive player, and just factor in the situation. In this game here, W's down 10. As on 25 with 4 minutes remaining. That's still plenty of time. 4 minutes is still a lot, but a lot of people are going to see that down 10, 4 minutes, and going to start panicking. They're just going to start attacking deep only. And they're going to kind of fall into the trap of the defensive player because, again, everybody's thinking deep here. They're thinking, protect deep, don't give up the big play. And I know that's exactly what Skimble is saying here is, don't give up the big play, don't give up the big play. Again, you're going to see Skimble running deep, a lot with his user, just trying to prevent the deep play. And, W's going to hit his underneath. So, again, start this here. And again, W's going to start with the ball at his own 25. Again, he got down. Skimble was actually ahead, or Skimble was actually down 6-7. Then Skimble went ahead up 17-7. So W's been stopped a lot of times in this game, but as you're going to see in this game, Skimble's going to play again really passive. Again, he's going to play how most people would in this situation. Is again, they're going to back up the coverage. They're just going to try to prevent getting a big play. And you saw W there in the last play. Check down underneath. Again, he's not panicking. And he's not just trying to attack deep all of a sudden. And again, another underneath pass. Again, trying to work those sidelines, get out of bounds. Because again, that's what's going to be open. Especially versus top players in this situation. Again, they're going to be protecting deep, afraid of getting out the big play. So again, you got to be willing to take your underneath in these situations. Check down and try to get out of bounds. Try to get to the sidelines here. Again, this here was not a good play. Only 3 yards. With the clock running. Again, we want to be trying to get a little bit. 5-7 yards at least, and try to get to the sidelines. If you can get 3 yards and get out of bounds, that's fine. But getting 3 yards and staying in the middle of the field is kind of rough. Right here, that's a good play. 10 yards right here, perfect. Even though clock's still running, again, you got to know that this is what's going to be open. Again, it's going to be hard to get a deep pass in this situation. Again, underneath again, not really working out though, because again, he's staying out of bounds, staying in bounds. Again, you really want to, do your best to get out of bounds here. But again, also, don't just kill yourself here and just throw a deep pass when it's not there. Again, there it is, man. He's just staying patient. Skimble at some point too, he's starting to kind of come down these underneath routes and kind of respecting these shorter intermediate routes, and that's kind of what's opening up this deep play here. So again, even right here, really risky play. Could have been a fumble, but again, he's taking his 5-7 yards. And again, Skimble's protecting back this whole drive. He gave up that one seam streak down the middle, but again, you saw, W still is able to make something happen. He's able to, all these little plays are adding up. It's a bunch of, again, touchdown here, and again, it's a bunch of 5-10 yard plays. Maybe the 15-yard play here or there, but again, all those short 5-10 yard plays really add up. And again, that's what's going to be open in these situations. Because again, everyone's going to be afraid to give up the deep bomb. Again, we'll kind of go over, we can go over from Skimble's perspective as well. So again, Skimble is up 3 in this situation. Again, he really just needs a couple first downs, and this game is over. So again, he's kind of got to know that W's going to be kind of in desperation mode right here, because W knows that he's 2 first downs away from losing the game. So W's most likely going to play aggressive underneath here. Those flat passes really aren't going to be there. Again, W's going to play really aggressive with his user here. Again, all the underneath is kind of gone. Uh, I don't mind Skimmo. He did have one seam streak on the field there, but again, he's kind of got to look to take a shot in this situation because again, as you saw, W was playing really aggressive with his user going underneath. So I like this play call from Skimmo. Trying to attack over the top here, knowing that W is going to try to play aggressive on underneath passes. So again, 3rd and 5 here. Skimmo, if Skimmo gets this, this is basically game. So, um, Dobby knows this. Again, Skimmo's a few yards away from winning the game. So when you're in those situations, man, everyone's gonna be. People are gonna tend to play aggressive in these situations. Again, they're gonna, maybe blitz a lot. Maybe hook zone safeties. Again, not everyone, but again, that's kind of what the thought process here is on defense. That's kind of the psychology of the defensive player in these situations. That's kind of the thought process here. So again, you got to know that as an offensive player that they know that you only need a few yards too. You got to know that they see that it's 3rd and 5 too, and they know you only need 5 yards. So again, Skimmo's one of the best at this. He's most likely going to have a deep shot on the field. He's going to have some sort of streak on the field. So again, you got to know that Dub is going to have to kind of sell out here. He's going to be in desperation mode. So again, I don't really like the flat in the corner out here on the left because most likely W is not going to give up this underneath. But I don't mind. Again, Skimmo has that streak on the field. That is smart because again, really, a lot of people are going to play super aggressive and typically might give up streaks in these situations. Again, they're going to play really aggressive, but again, W guarded his underneath here on the left. Again, I really didn't like that part there on the left because again, it's so obvious that people are going to defend that underneath here. So again, really didn't like that set up here on the left side because again, W's in desperation mode. He knows that Skimmo only needs a few yards, so again, he's going to guard those underneath routes first, and that's what W does. And Skimmo really only had like one deep option here on the field. I think he could have done a better job of attacking over the middle of the field here, knowing that Dub is going to be looking to protect those quick flats first. Protect those sidelines. Again, Skimmo really loved his tight end flats and running back flats in this game. So again, most likely that's not going to be there. Again, people are going to be selling out in these situations. So again, he really only had that one streak in the field. Again, really, Skimmo here really needs to, try to take a little bit of a deep shot here. Again, W was playing really aggressive underneath, really kind of leaving the middle of the field open. Again, that's going to be the tender areas usually in these situations. Again, everyone's protecting the silence. Everyone's worried about, short. Again, a lot of times you can hit him with a deep shot or something over the middle of the field is going to be open. And again, I do like what Skimmo did here. I think Skimmo had 2 streaks on the field here because he knows that. Ooh, so good play here from Skimmo. I mean, and W does what most people are going to do in this situation. Again, he's going to get really aggressive here. He knows that Skimmo only needs 5 yards. And it's fine for the defense to get really aggressive here because even if you give up a big play, the game was really over anyways. The game is over whether you give up 5 yards or 50 yards here. So that's why people are going to tend to get really aggressive in these situations, and you got to kind of understand that and be willing to have like these deep options on the field and be willing to attack the middle of the field. And I liked Skimmo's play call. He had the 2 streaks on the field. In case W got really aggressive, and he had routes over the middle of the field. Expecting W to protect the silence. So this was a good play call from Skimmo, but the pressure was able to get in there. Again, as you saw, look at how aggressive W got. W blitzed 5 people, and he cross-manned one of his safeties onto A. And he man-pressed the left outside. And yeah, so again, and that's not an adjustment that W usually makes. W is a really passive defensive player. But again, in these situations, the play calls change. He had to get aggressive here. It was do or die, like I said. Whether it's 5 or 50 yards here for Skimmo, the game's over. So again, that's why you saw W hit him with this crossman safety and blitz a lot of people. again, that's not something he usually does. But again, in these situations, people are going to get really aggressive here. So. All right, now back on offense for W here, and no, really, if you're W, you really want this touchdown here, or honestly, I mean, you really want it. I mean, you're at the 30. You can definitely manage this fine, but the thing is, Skimmo in this game overall, W did a really good job for the most part on defense versus Skimmo. So again, he might be fine with three, but again, he can definitely manage a touchdown with this time here. And again, he's not going to just try to force the ball, get it all in one play here, just try to get the touchdown really quickly. Again, he's going to take his time here. Again, he's going to be patient. He's not just going to try to go for the touchdown every play. And honestly, though, in this situation, I'm fine with someone putting some deeper options on the field and taking a shot here or there, because again, in these situations, Skimbo might partially be in desperation mode and doesn't want to him to just dink and dunk down the field. Again, he's getting really close to the red zone. Again, when people get close to the red zone on defense, people tend to give up those deeper options. So again, if you factor that in, like the getting close to the red zone, so some deeper options might be open here. So again, it's not a bad idea to be keeping streaks or maybe sneaking in some skinny post here. But also another way to kind of think about it is Skimmo really might just not want to lose the game here, and he's just kind of playing backed off and just allowing him to take his three. So again, Skimmo's going to kind of double flat here on the left. Again, Skimmo's always pretty passive on defense. So again, he's really looking to not give up. Skimmo just doesn't want to give up the big play here and doesn't want to give up the silence. So again, it's not a bad idea here too, because again, W only has one timeout. So it looks like Skimmo's going to protect the silence, and that makes sense because he doesn't want W to get out of bounds since there's only a minute left and he only has one timeout. So again, if W's able to get out of bounds here, it's going to make it really easy here on him to have a good drive. So Skimmo here wants to force him over the middle, again, just to waste more time. Again, he doesn't want him getting out of bounds here on the silence. So that's why it's kind of common here to double flat, protect the silence, play a little backed off. Again, it's all going to depend on the person, but I know Skimmo's more the type to kind of play backed off, protect the silence. Some players might play, again, they might feel like their back's up against the wall here. They might play really aggressive. So again, it's not a bad idea to at least leave like a streak on the field, in case someone does get aggressive in these situations. So again, W has to be willing to go over the middle of the field here, knowing that Skimmo's really looking to protect those silence, even if it takes some clock off. Again, that's what's going to be there, and you got to be willing to take it. And that's what W's going to do here. He's going to call a play to kind of attack over the middle of the field, knowing that Skimmo is like protecting those silence heavily. And again, W is going to go for this. W is going to go for this. And again, 4th and 1, kind of game on the line. Again, in these short down situations, especially with your, kind of game on the line here, it's really common even for someone like Skimmo who's usually passive. Again, they're going to get really aggressive in these situations. They might blitz a lot, drop safety hooks. So again, you got to have in these 4th and 1s when you're on offense, have some deep options on the field, because again, you got to expect people to kind of get, put hard flats, safety hooks, get aggressive here, blitz a lot of people. So again, you want to be having a couple deep options here. People are going to be protecting the silence. They don't want you to just everyone's thinking running back flat, tight end flat. So again, you got to have options here, over the middle or at least deep. Again, I don't like that he doesn't really have a deep option, because Skimmo gets really aggressive here and kind of like maybe hook zones the safeties. And he's not really that type of player to do that, but again, you usually want to have at least one streak on the field just to kind of check them if they're getting really aggressive. But I don't mind him calling this concept here to kind of attack over the middle of the field, because you got to be everyone in the building is thinking quick flat, short silence. So again, you want to be looking to attack over the middle and maybe have a couple deep options. Again, as I said, look what Skimmel did. And I actually hadn't watched this game in a really long time. And even Skimmel got really aggressive here. And I was just saying, too, like, you know, a lot of people will hook on their safeties here. Again, back up against the wall. It's a 4th and 1. They know you just need a couple yards. So the defense is going to be really desperate here. Get really aggressive. And again, look what Skimmel did with his safety. And Skimmel manned someone up, getting really aggressive. Again, and it ends up working out for Dubby. Is a really good play here from him. Skimbo usually doesn't get super duper aggressive, but again, even a passive player like Skimbo, you know, went all out on defense there. You know, it kind of sold out, you know, for kind of underneath options. Again, I like I like him attacking over the middle of the field here. Again, with this in route and in the deeper end, because again, a lot of people here are gonna hard flat, you know, really protect the silence. And again, look, Skimbo does protect the silence here. He's not going to give up those quick little 1 yard flats. You know, Skimbo knows you only need 1 yard, so again, he's going to play really aggressive on those underneath flats. Again, so it's always a good idea to kind of attack over the middle field here, and Dubby did do that. Again, he was going to have either A or B open here, but he also had this corner route open. Again, as you saw from both players, usually passive on defense, but again, both of them, you know, when it got to those short yard situations when they're back up against the wall, game on the line, both of them got, you know, super aggressive on defense and allowed for, and there was going to be more deeper options open, and they kind of left the middle of the field open